That is why you don't live your life waiting for men to encourage you. Are they as a pastor, as a minister, or as a child of God? Because the life of a pastor, I'm sorry to say, is such a life that is full of so much loneliness. When I say loneliness, I'm not talking about not having a wife and children. Even when you are in pain, you can't tell others that you are in pain. You have house rent to pay. Members are telling you how they are about to be driven from their own houses, and you have to hold their hands. And sometimes if you have support, you still give. But as you are stepping out of church, your phone is ringing. Oga Pastor, when are you paying? Am I communicating at all? You don't have food in your house, but someone is saying pastors are all thieves. All they do is to preach for money. All the offering and tithes, they are the one eating it. They started ministry because they want money. They are all gluttonies. But here you are. You have used everything, including your blood, to see that what you are doing works. And no one have said, Pastor, we see your troubles. We are with you. We're in a generation that fight their priest. And this is a dangerous generation to be. We're in a generation that neglect the oil. And this is one of the most painful generation any priest could be born. We're in a generation that take for granted the oil and the unction. And the disadvantage of this in this generation is that there will not be too many great men born out of grace. People will have to rise up by strength. Because the grace you look down upon cannot raise you. A pastor may not be a billionaire, but he can raise billionaires. It's a calling. It's not in his pocket. It's in all his ordination. By the grace of God, I can make references to people who are well established across the nations, who have drank from the oil I carry. But look at the example of Jesus. Not just practical experience. He said, are they not 10 cleansed? Where are the 9? It's not today that the 9 will always be missing. If only 3 return back to say thank you, the pastor will become very prosperous. That's the simple truth. That's the simple truth. That's the simple truth. How many people pick offense and pick fight with men that labor on their lives? I was looking at one of them recently. I said, so this one too can talk, can act. That's why I say many pastors are going through pains. They can't talk because when they talk, people still find fault in their talk. When they explain, they still find fault in their explanation. They find fault. I came across a post. They say, why will he be pastoring and be doing business? The same people are fighting. Why we pastor? How can you call ministry a work? Go and work. Now a pastor is doing business and doing church. You say, first they calling that God call you. All these pastors, they too like money. May God heal our generation. And for every man of God hearing the sound of my voice, wherever you may and whenever you may, I want to tell you, hear God and be quiet about men. Hear God. If he work, they will clap and say, we know it will work. If he fail, they will clap and say, we know, we are just waiting. It will fail. What a people, what a generation. What a generation. You know, this was not too different from the time of John. John was so angry. He said, you generations of vipers. He provoked. He said, you are a generation of vipers. You kill your priest. You fight your priest. You fight your prophets. One way to go viral is to pick a story of a man of God, especially his wrongs. I saw someone made a post about a massive welfare that a church did. And the person said, I know this kind of video will not go viral. I know it will not go viral. I know it will not go viral. All the things I've said so far about pastors, none is on my list, none is on my note. But we ask the Holy Ghost to speak to us, so he's speaking to us.